Hey, you guys, I'm Christina with leadsandleverage.com going live on Facebook live stream for you. If you're watching this in replay, don't forget to hit live subscribe. It should be up here. And anytime you want to watch, you see this come across your feed, you just click the little arrow button or play button and go for it. Something I wanted to share with you real quick. Hopefully you guys can hear me just fine. I just went on to go on live and my live button disappeared and it wasn't there. And so then we were checking our other pages on other phones and we noticed that the live button disappeared from the Facebook app. Guess where we found it? We found it in the Pages app. So it looks like Facebook has switched over the ability to go live on your business page from the traditional Facebook app, and looks like they've moved it over to the Facebook Pages app. So you need to get that app now. So things are changing. I'm really glad I found it because I scheduled this and thought I could do it, and then it disappeared. So I found it. So hi, Cheris. Dominic, would you turn that light on for me? The switch right there. Yep. All right. So I'm a little bit, I can adjust this just a little bit. Doing a little bit of adjusting. Sorry, guys. Just been a little dizzy there. Okay. So, awesome. Hi, Chris. Hi, Cheris. Looks like I got all kinds of things popping up. So just so you guys know, if you just came in, I am repeating this again. The Facebook live stream button has moved from the Facebook app on iPhone to the Facebook Pages app on iPhone. So if you can't find it on your traditional Facebook app for your business page, it is now over on your Pages app for your business page. So I just wanted you guys to know that. Okay, so I actually did, Chris is on here too, and he commented what a tease, that I gave you guys a tease when I was talking about when I was sharing what I'm going to talk about. So it's basically, someone asked me recently, how I do it all. And, how do you do it all? How do you keep up with it all? How do you do all that? If you guys know, I'm a mom. I have 4 boys. 3 of them live at home. I'm a wife. I'm the main person in our business. We don't have another business. So, really, this is it. This is what I do. This is what we do for our family, etc. I am involved in other things. I volunteer, etc. So, and one of the big, huge themes that I live by is I do not believe in busyness. I do not subscribe to the idea that we should be busy, constantly on the go, constantly doing things. And my schedule very clearly reflects that. I work my hours. I do not work typically. I do not put in 40 hours every single week. It's usually a little bit less because I also temper that with volunteer time, and I temper that with my family time. So I make sure what I do is very focused and very, I get my work done. And so we're not out multiple nights a week. We aren't running around from appointment to appointment. So I just want you guys to be clear that when I share, I've got my stuff here. When I share this with you, it is not about being busier. It is not about managing your time. It is not about time blocking. It's none of those things, really. You have to do some of that to some extent. Clearly, if you double schedule yourself, you need a calendar. Or maybe you're just too dang busy. But one of the things, so Cheers says, hi, Chris. Oh, Chris. I get it. Now I know why I said that and then realized I was talking to Chris Angel and Cheris's boyfriend, Chris. That's really funny. So tell Chris I'm saying hi to Chris, to him. Really confuse him. He's probably watching this now. So anyway, so when I talk to you guys about this, I'm going to progress you through. This is going to take a few minutes, but I'm going to progress you through because when you decide something, when you make a mental mindset change or a mind shift change, you don't always have full clarity. You kind of have an idea, and as you progress and you are determined and stay focused on that idea, you gain more clarity, and it takes time. So really it comes down to, and I'm simplifying this a bit, but it comes down to knowing what you want over the long term and making choices focused on solely on that goal. So I'm going to take you back a few years when I started applying this in our lives. In 2005, Chuck and I adopted our first two sons, and we knew going into this that we wanted to be different. First of all, they were 8 and 9 when we adopted them, and we knew that we got 10 less years than everybody else gets with their kids. So to us, it was a priority that, this is about quantity, not just quality. And we've never subscribed to the idea that it's quality over quantity and you could spend a half hour here and it'd be just as good. We're firm believers, this is us, we are firm believers that time is what we need to deepen our relationships, time with each other. And intention. So when we adopted our first two, we knew that we wanted to have time with them because we were missing out on 10 years with them. So with that in mind, we were in the real estate business and knew that, we're going to schedule our business around our desired life. That's exactly what we decided. So from that point on, we knew that there would be no evenings. If there was, it was one evening a week. And we made sure that there was always one of us with the kids. We also knew there would be no Sundays because Sundays were going to be family days. And, you guys, in the world of real estate, this is almost unheard of. A couple days ago, I asked you guys if you worked Sundays. And so many, oh yeah, obviously. And I'm thinking, no, it's not so obvious. I mean, you can cater to other people's schedules, or you can build your own. And something that really brought clarity recently, I have a coach that I work with, they coach me, and it helped me clarify that I don't need to live in anyone else's expectations. I need to live in my own, not anyone else's. So if you're in real estate, and I'm going to progress you through this whole thing, but if you're in real estate and the idea of not being available 24/7 is mind-boggling to you, you can do it. This is you and your business. No one else controls you. And if you think other people control you or you let other people control you, that's a choice and schedule. Anyway, so as we progressed through time, that was awesome. We always had Sundays with our family. We always had evenings. And we ended up taking a lot of afternoons off. At first, we homeschooled them because we wanted them. It was about relationships and not head knowledge. And then as they got older, we put them in a school and we adopted 2 more. So pretty soon we had 4 boys, and kids take time, and I'm the main lead generator. I was the main lead generator in our real estate business, so I got really good at being focused and remembering what my priority is. So when you know what you want overall, you can cater your choices to that. So in around 2008 or 2009, we hired a business coach for our real estate business. And one of the things that he did for us, it wasn't about, in fact, it took me a couple of years to find the right coach because I do not like this, you need to make X number of phone calls or you need to do X number of things baloney. I think that is just a way to avoid the reality of our lives, to avoid actually internalizing and figuring out what we want. Reflection, self-reflection, it's just a way to throw a bunch of tasks at us. So there, I've said my piece about some coaches. So we hired a coach, and one of the greatest gifts he ever gave us was he walked us through, we're here, this is where we are, what do you want? And for us, we wanted more time freedom. We wanted more mobility in real estate. So then it became a matter of, well, we're not sure. And this is back in 2009, guys, 2010, when we're just starting to get better smartphones than Blackberries, when we're just starting to get the ability to do more and more online. So it was still really hazy. So we knew we wanted time with our family. Now we want more mobility. We want to have more freedom in our business to go and do things. And longer term, maybe some travel, things like that. So that's the gift he gave us, was that desire to figure it out. And back then you couldn't figure it out as easily as you can now. But what we did start doing is we thought, well, if we want more mobility, excuse me, we know we have to be more mobile, which means that whatever we do needs to be mostly online, or the people that we work with need to maybe not be in our market, that don't actually need us to be one-on-one with them, etc. So we started restructuring our whole business, and it only took about 18 months to restructure everything. But my point with this, all of this, is it didn't take more time. It just took focus. So when you know what you want, it's really easy to say no to everything that's not part of what you want. So let's move forward. So we did that. So then what happens? One of our sons was high special needs, and we really needed time as a family. So what were we able to do? We were able to sell everything we own, buy an RV, and travel. And yet we maintained our real estate business, because at the beginning, when we started thinking about this whole concept of a mobile real estate business, we didn't know what it was going to look like. We thought maybe it was going to be one of those where we had a team here and had a team in another place and had a team in another place. But then my brain was like, that's just more work. That's more things to manage. That's more stress. I don't care if it's to 7th level. That's just more. And I want less. I wanted simpler. So that's what we did. We went mobile. Most of our clients were from out of state. Most of them never even saw the properties that they purchased until after they purchased them. So that's just what it looked like for us. So we traveled for 18 months. And then while we were traveling, we decided we actually, me, enjoy helping real estate agents on a whole nother level, a whole nother plane. And I knew that wasn't coming through, just speaking at other events. For me, that's not what it was coming through. So, or it's not what it looked like, because for me, in my mind, speaking and training meant at the time that I had to be away from my family. And if you'll remember, my original goal with this was time. We want time with our family, and we want mobility. And I don't want to be structured under anybody else's schedule. So we decided that meant we needed to start a different business. So we took our combined real estate experience and started Leads and Leverage, which is what you're watching now. And we had a goal. I want to empower real estate agents. So there's still my underlying is time with my family. Absolutely. I do not work Sundays. I don't work evenings. I work in my best time frame. So if that's evenings for you, that's evenings for you. For me, it's mornings. Bless you. And so I work in my best time frame for me to do what I can do best for you guys. So let me continue on with this. So basically, what I did was I built on each layer. I know we needed time, then we wanted mobility, and then it was like, where's my passion? What am I most passionate about? And that was empowering real estate agents. So guess what? So I now have the third layer, and that's where the business that I have now. And the thing is that you gain clarity over time, and you have to know what it is you want, even if you don't know how you're going to get there, even if you have no idea what it's going to look like. You have to know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, that's when you chase shiny objects, and that's when you're squirrel hunting, and that's when you're just all over the place. You're constantly grasping. You're not sure what's going to happen or how it's going to work, and that's why all of these different courses and classes look attractive, because we're not sure what it is we want. So now I'm crystal clear. I know what I want. I know what I want in 5 years. I know what I want in 10 years. I know what that looks like for my family. I know what that looks like for my business. And right now, in this moment, I know exactly what it is that's going to get me there. So the one thing I can recommend to you is to get your hands on, I don't have a copy right here. Shoot, I'm looking in my office. Chuck, is there a copy of the book I'm going to recommend over there? Sorry guys, just a minute, let me see.
What color is it?
it's white. Sorry guys, I want to get this and I want to show you. Look at me. Okay. My husband is not reading my ESP at the moment, so hold on. You need to get this. I'm gonna get you this, and I'm gonna show you this book. So here's the thing about this book, and I have to. It's not there either. I bet it's upstairs. I'm positive it was in that stack of stuff. Okay, well, I'll just tell you the book. So here it is. Tanya says is there a way to get video? I seem to only have audio. Did you press the little, oh, no, you should have, if you have audio, you should have video. So make sure your ringer's turned on your phone. Sometimes I've found that affects performance on Facebook live streams. The other thing is, if you're getting audio, but not video, it could simply be the strength of your connection right now for live stream. I'm sorry, I don't know more than that because I don't know your phone. I don't know all those other, or where, like where you're at and how you're using it. I'm sorry. Hopefully that'll help. All right, sorry guys. Let me get back to this. So I have recommended this book for a couple of years now that I'm going to tell you about. I wish I had a copy of it so I could physically show you. I do have a copy of it. It's just not right near me. And I started giving it out and buying it in bulk and started giving it out 2 years ago now. I'm thinking 2 years ago now. And here's the irony. I didn't read the book. I knew it was probably very powerful, and I thought in my mind that I had achieved that because we were so crystal clear from the time that we adopted our first 2 boys to the time that we were building our business to the time that we went on our RV travels. And so I thought it was awesome. So I'm really like revealing the truth here, guys. So 2 years ago, I was recommending it to everybody and and I'm giving it away like crazy. So you probably already guessed. So then a very dear friend of mine last summer, came to me, and a very dear friend of mine, and she said, oh my gosh, that book was so incredible. And she started about something, and I'm like, what? She's like, have you read the book, Christina? I was like, no, I haven't read the book. And she's like, you need to read the book, dear. So I finally read the silly book. And I should have read it 2 years ago, guys. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And I really wanted to show you because I wanted to give one away. Oh, duh, it's right here. Sorry. The One Thing by Gary Keller. See, I've been looking all over my office and getting my son and my husband to run around and try and help me, and it's like sitting right here. The One Thing. So I'm actually going to give this copy away. So guys, make sure you comment on this thread. Comment on this thread, and I will pick a random winner, and I'll send you the book. So I just have to say, if you've not read this book, it's amazing. So let me go deeper on this. I gained clarity over time. I gained so much clarity when I read this book. It was, I thought I was clear before, but it's made it even more clear. So now I know exactly what action I need to take every single day right now today that's going to get me my 5-year goal and my 10-year goal, period. There's no mistaking it. And I know it's the very first thing I do every single day. Now, whatever that is, it's going to be different for each person. For me, I know what that is. I spend 50 minutes every single day doing my one thing, except for Sundays. Don't do it on Sundays. Sunday's my day off. But that's the best thing I can tell you guys is that it starts by knowing what you want and grasping to it, even when you don't know how you're going to get it. Even when you're not sure. We had no idea back at the time. We just set no Sundays and no evenings. We set that. And oh my goodness, do you know the flack that we got anytime we mentioned it online that we didn't work Sundays or we didn't work weekends? And I say online because, locally, we would just walk away from idiots. Excuse me, from people who treated us like idiots. Not idiots, but people who treated us like idiots. We would walk away from them if they told us that we couldn't do that. Couldn't do that in real estate. We walked away. If anybody told us that it's not possible, we no longer converse with them. And I know you guys, in a lot of those real estate groups that are online, I really have to ignore most of them because it's all about saying that's not possible. Everybody in those groups, not everybody, but most of the messages in those groups are, that can't be done. It's not available in my market. I have to do this. I don't have the freedom to choose that. You guys, you don't live in anyone else's expectations. You live in your own. Don't let somebody else set expectations for you. This is your business. Your business. It is no one else's business. You do not have to do it the way everyone else is telling you you have to do it. You need to determine what you want and make your business what you want. If you hate your freaking business because you're working Sundays and you're working every night, you're gonna quit. So build the business the way you want to build it. That does not mean you can sit around and eat bonbons and watch 50,000 reruns on Netflix or whatever it is. I don't know, the Netflix binge thing. You can't do that. Obviously, you have to put the effort in, but you can choose what you want and you can be intentional and make that happen. Sorry, let me get the questions. Mary Frances says, you are cracking me up. Lisa knows what it is. That's right. The one thing. Mary Frances says, that is what I don't have right now. I still haven't for sure figured out the 5 and 10 year goals. And even for the 1 year goal, I'm not sure exactly what order I need to do things. So I don't know. So I don't know what I should be doing now or in August, or well, you get the point. I do get the point. And that's a lot of, sometimes when I don't have that kind of clarity, I move forward into the vagueness. I know it's here somewhere, just like when before we even had the idea of traveling full-time in our RV and retaining our real estate business. We just knew we wanted to be mobile. We knew we wanted the freedom to be somewhere warm in the winter. That was really my driving goal. I want to be somewhere warm in the winter. And at first it looked like what everybody else was doing. Multiple real estate teams. That's what it looked like. And I kept getting a sick, sinking feeling in my gut every time I thought of multiple real estate teams. But I thought of total freedom when I thought of the ability to be somewhere where I wanted to be whenever I wanted to be. So I knew that there was a disconnect, and it wasn't going to be through real estate teams. I needed to look somewhere different. I needed to look at something different. And that's what we do. We're like, well, if we want to be more mobile, we need to be more mobile. So start thinking at what you can solve. Even if you don't fully have that answer. Now, we're totally, the irony of this whole thing, you guys, we wanted complete mobility. So guess what? We built it. We created it. We have complete mobility. Do you know where I have worked for the last 2 years? What parts of the world I've worked in for the last 2 years? I've worked in the same stinking zip code for the last 2 years. Because the irony of all of that is I have that freedom and I have that time, and now when I leave, I physically leave to go on vacation. And we're stationary now. Our lives are different now, but I'm able to go volunteer when I want to go volunteer. There's nothing blocking me and saying, sorry, it's a Tuesday afternoon, you should be working. Instead, I can go volunteer if I need to do that, if that's what my soul needs. So I guess it's really, you need to know what you want, at least like I said, we knew we wanted time with our kids. What was that going to look like? We weren't sure. We just knew we were setting some boundaries and sticking to them. And then we knew we wanted to travel. What was that going to look like? We didn't know at the time. We just knew that in order to travel, or in order to even have multiple teams, which was one of our thoughts, we had to have more paperless, more everything online. We knew we had to go that direction. We knew we had to trim down. So now we have this business and we're keeping things trimmed down because we plan on doing more traveling. We plan on doing more things, but now in the business, we know that time is our priority. Our relationships are priority. We set boundaries and we've structured our business around what we know we want. So don't let, and even in this business, I know you're thinking, well, it's not real estate. No, you're not. You're right. We're not in real estate. However, I still get pulled by other people's idea of what I should be doing. So I want time with my family. That means not traveling without them. So that means not a lot of traveling. That means that I'm not going on the speaking circuit. A lot of people build their businesses, the kind of business that we have now, a lot of people build it through the speaking circuit. And when I get asked to speak, and I say no, and I still have that, should I be saying no? Should I do, but 99% of my requests are no, because they don't fit in with my vision for my business and my life. Even though it may catapult me onto the whatever stage or onto the whatever thing, I don't care. My vision for my life is going to stay. That's what I want in mind. So my biggest thing for you guys to take away is really to know what you want first and foremost. What is your ultimate desire? For me, it was time for my most important relationships, period. That was my first one. Then my second one coming right after that was freedom, mobility. Now my third one, I have a passion to empower real estate agents, you guys, to show you that you can have the time and you can have the freedom and you don't have to live in anybody else's expectations. So that's me, that's mine. And there's no time blocking. This isn't about going, you need X hours for this and you need X hours for that. It's about being self-aware, knowing what you want. Maybe not knowing how to get there, but starting the 1 or 2 steps that you can start that will move you towards there, that'll get you ready for that. It's like being, I don't even know if I can use this analogy because I don't even know how to surf, but it's like being a surfer. You don't stand on the beach waiting for the waves. You paddle yourself out there so that when the waves come, you're ready. So hopefully that makes sense. So don't be standing on the beach waiting to see the waves come. Get out there into the ocean and be ready for when they do. So if you don't know, you have no idea what's next, you just know you want this, think of 1 or 2 things that, okay, well, this will help free me up so I'm able to take advantage of this whenever it comes out. The way that technology is changing, it's changing so fast, you guys. Technology is crazy fast. And I just shared on my Facebook personal profile a post from 7 years ago, and I was talking about, we're doing our first listing video, and we were using a Flip Mini or Flip Mino HD, I can't remember, and a BlackBerry Pearl. Those were the 2 devices I was using. And I started giggling this morning. I think it was this morning that I shared it, because it was like, wow, I was using 2 devices, and wow, I was using a Flip and a BlackBerry, and wow, that is archaic. It's only 7 years ago. It's totally changed. Our ability to do different things has totally changed. We have more freedom now. And I'm talking about all this because I'm in the middle of opening up. In December, I opened up a program called Launch Into, and it was actually launched into 2016. And if you haven't gotten information on this, I'm doing another one. It's a very small, 15 people, and we are going to go read some of this, but we're going to go through and focus on clarity, focus on our businesses, and build businesses that we, first of all, love, that we enjoy, because, I, as much as I enjoyed the freedom real estate gives me, I don't enjoy having to deal with the paperwork and the contracts. I don't enjoy having to show properties. Some of you might enjoy those pieces of it. That's awesome. I had to have something outside of that that drove my passion for that. So that's what we're going to find. And it's called the Launch Into program. So if you guys are interested, just comment, and I will, send me an email, Christina@leadsandleverage.com. So Christina@leadsandleverage.com, and I will email you the information. We're only doing 15 people, and I'm closing it on Thursday. But the reason I did this live stream is because I'm prepping for this guided coaching, and it's so interesting to see some of the comments come in that, well, I don't have time for this, and I don't have time for that, and I don't have time. And I'm just like, wow, if you're doing real estate, this is kind of important over here, but they were choosing something else. And so it helps gain clarity. It helps you gain clarity. I've said this a few times, but it really is, it's an exercise in clarity. And when you know what that is, you can say no. I say no a lot. A lot. I say no to podcasts. Not all podcasts. Podcasts are easy for me. They work into my schedule, but I say no to a lot of podcasts. I say no to every single you'll get exposure experience. I'm not, if it requires me to travel, no to most of them. There's only one that I will ever say yes to, and that is Inman. Because I like Inman and I want to give back to Inman, and I will speak for them. I will participate in what they have. But that's really, and I did a NAR event recently. And so for the most part, those are the two that I stay focused on. I don't, for me, I don't care about all the other events because they don't fit within my designed life. So here's my challenge for you in all of this. I've talked a lot. Here's my challenge for you. What do you want to take out that you're currently doing? And I don't mean a task to assign to a VA. I mean, what part of your real estate business makes you feel trapped that you just don't want to do or you want to get rid of? And whatever part that is, I challenge you to find a way to at least minimize it so you don't have to do it as much. So I challenge you to do that. For us, we hated the fact that I'm a second generation realtor. My dad was always on the phone. Now, he was always available for me. This is not a statement in that, but he was always on the phone. If the phone rang, he'd answered it. I hated that. For me, I hate the phone. I do not even use my phone. I'm looking for my phone and I'm talking at it. Duh. I do not use my phone as an actual phone. It's very rare that I actually use my phone as an actual phone because I'm not going to be controlled by it. So what is it? And ironically enough, guys, you know what we did? We started having people schedule their showings, agents schedule their showings via text. So we changed some things. I didn't want to answer the phone. So guess what? Showings were scheduled via text. A few other things. You can change it. It's your business. Your business, your way. Let me go on here. That's it. I need to figure out how to get there. Yes, Susan, absolutely. Yep, Chris is like, listen to your gut. So Mary Frances says, you've recently upped the way you focus in a way that's been very discernible. What enabled you to do that? Was it just a mental shift? Because I think that's what sets you apart in your ability to achieve at a top level in every area of life. You know, it started, Mary Frances, again, I keep pointing back to this book that I'm going to give away. It started, the shift that you noticed that was discernible started when I finished this and started actually applying my one thing to my life. I knew what I needed, and so I started making myself do it. Now, for me, my daily one thing is writing either a training article or an article for Inman or something in training, but 50 dedicated minutes for me. This is my one thing is writing something centered around training. So for 50 minutes every day. I knew this. I started doing it 2 days a week. I knew I needed to do it 5 or 6 days a week, but I started doing it 2 days a week. We doubled our business. It took me 45 days and we doubled our business. And so I knew this. So I was like, okay, I need to do this more consistently. Common sense, as Brenda Burchard says, common sense is not always common practice. I know I needed to do this. I recently, about a month ago, hired a high performance coach. It's not related to like tasks and stuff like that, but we were conversing a couple weeks ago or last week actually, and he said, so if you know what your one thing is, and you have proof that doing your one thing actually changes your business, can you tell me why you're not doing your one thing every day of the week? I was like, I didn't have an answer for him. I did not have an answer for him. So the challenge was, you need to do it. For me, the challenge was, okay, I can do this. I do not want to be, I think it was along the terms of I was becoming comfortable and a little bit complacent, like, okay, that's enough. This is good. This is good enough. But then he challenged me. He goes, well, are you missing people that you need to know, you need to help by not doing this every day of the week? And I was like, oh yeah, kill me there. Thanks. So it was really I equated this to, if I don't do this, you guys don't get the help that you need. And I know that I'm kind of a lone voice out there teaching this. Everybody's teaching all kinds of lead generation. Everybody's selling crap. Everybody's doing everything. But is anybody actually teaching you that you don't need to live in anybody else's expectations? That you can structure your real estate business however the heck you want? Probably not, because they weren't teaching it when I was out there. And I struggled with it. So there was that. So yes, Mary, it was a mental shift for me, and it's now become like this inbred passion that if I don't do it, I made the connection that if I don't do this, who's going to help? Who's going to show people this? And that's where that connection was for me, Mary. Catherine says, I agree on the value of a driving central purpose. Like Susan and Mary, I need help with the second part, and that's the how do you make it happen part. Yeah, and that is a huge key. And some of this, Catherine, I know you're coming to LNL Live. Some of this we're gonna go into aspects of this. We're gonna go into at LNL Live. I recommend you go through the launch into program, if not now, later in the year, because I know you're just finishing up FBLG and you're just going into LNL Live. But this, I mean, now this is not just a walkthrough of this book. It's actually, the launch into is not just a walkthrough of this book, although the book is very powerful in what we do. What it is rethinking how and why we do the things we do based on facts and results from our businesses. So this is not just a feel-good ooey ooey thing. It is based on actual tangible results. So that's the part that should help you on that. Let's see, Mary Frances says, I think a good question is, what are you doing that you only do because you'd feel guilty or that you were slacking if you didn't? That's like an opposite question. So what I mean is, when I focus on or that you're slacking if you didn't do it, I think that the way you worded that question, Mary Frances, sorry, is how are you self-talking? So for me, I word it differently. What do I need to do right now that if I don't do it, someone's missing out, and it's not just me? So I've reworded that, and I took, oh yes, Mary says, I was referring to when you were challenging people to think about how they want to do their businesses differently. Yeah, okay, you're right, sorry. You're right, that's a really good one. So are you working Sundays because you feel like you need to? Are you doing open houses because everybody tells you need to do open houses, but you secretly hate them? Are you door knocking? Are you cold calling? Or are those any of those things that you hate to do, and you just don't want to do them? Like I said, it's sunny. It started out snowing. There was snow on the ground. Now it's sunny outside. Yay! I'm going to go outside after this and take a nice walk. Anyway, so one of the things about this whole thing is that we need to figure out, one, what we want our life to look like. What do we want our days to look like? I used to flippantly, when you go into these business planning classes or these life planning things, and they'd say, well, what do you want your ideal day to look like? And I'm like, well, I want to be sipping pina coladas on the beach. I kind of went in with that attitude, like, what? There is no ideal day. But now I look at it differently. If I had my ideal day, what would it look like? What are parts and pieces of it that I could incorporate every day or every week or, every 90 days? One thing that Brenda Burchard has told me, not told me personally, but says, is that you have to take breaks. First of all, you have to take breaks. We tend to work in this driven mind. But second of all, he goes, you need to take every 90 days, you need to take a getaway. And it could be, whatever it is, you need to take 2 or 3 days away. And I just was like, how is that even possible? But I'm making commitments to things that other people who are performing at a high performance level are recommending, because they know they work. I'm just making a commitment. I've made a mental shift and a commitment to go, they're where I want to be. They know what I need to do. I just need to do it. So anyway, lots of stuff on this. Really, it's what do you want? What do you want your life to look like? you do not have to cater your life around someone else's ideas, someone else's expectations. You're a real estate agent. You don't have to cater your life around what people think real estate agents should be doing. You don't. Just ignore anybody who says you do. And if your brain is telling you, your mental self-talk is telling you, you need to reverse that. You need to kick it out of there, clean it out, and put new thoughts in there, because you can do what you want. Charis says, I'm going to look for that audiobook online later. It's awesome. Charis, it's awesome. Any other questions, you guys? Any other thoughts? This has been a long one. It's longer than I thought it would be. So it's really, really about knowing what you want, and even if you don't have clarity, moving forward with something that you know that, well, I'm not sure, but I think this might help me. Just keep doing that, and gain clarity over time. So again, if you're just joining us and stuff, you can watch the whole thing. I talked about my secret thing that I found several years ago, and it just changed when we adopted our kids. And this is the book I recommend, The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's a fabulous book. Any questions, you guys? Anything else? You guys were awesome. I love your input, Mary Frances and Catherine and Chris and Charis, Susan, Lisa, Tanya. I know you didn't have video. I'm sorry about that. Everyone else, I want to make sure I got everybody. And if that's all, you have a good one too, Catherine. If that's all, you guys, I think I'm done for today. I'm going to try and do one of these. I'm committing this week to do one Facebook live stream every day. So Monday through Friday, one every day. I've got all kinds of stuff. I've already got other topics. See, I've got my yellow one was today. Can you tell? See, yellow today. Then I have green. Then I have orange. And I have pink. And I have all kinds of topics for you guys to talk about. Help you guys. I will talk to you later. I'm going to actually finish this one out. If you have any other questions, go ahead and ask them, and I will address them in future live sessions. Have a fabulous afternoon. Bye, guys.